what I need to make today before we start on our next project, which I'm really excited about, are some shop tools. I have this little slip roll stand to feed my material across my table. I've already notched it down a little bit. We built this a long time ago in the shop. We then bought some really nice ones. We used the bearings out of a Harbor Freight tire, some 5/8 solid bar, and a piece of, I believe, 1¼ inch tube that just fit perfectly onto these bearings. Tacked those bearings in, and then welded this all together. So what I want to do is actually weld some pieces of angle iron onto the sides and drill a hole through the base of these so that these can be this can be bolted down, and then we can feed material in. Maybe someday I'll build a nice saw stand that hangs off the side of my table so the material feeds right across the table. But right now I just put the saw on top and feed that on there, and I just want a way to maybe mount that in place. The next thing we need to make, I bought some hex bar that fits inside here. So I bought this for like 12 bucks, and a 3/4 inch Allen key was $16. So I bought this foot piece of hex stock from McGregor, and I found an old socket, and it's not even straight anymore. I don't know if you can see that. I'll do a close-up. Anywho, I'm going to cut a 2-inch chunk, and we're going to clean this up, and I'll silicone braze this hex bar into here so I have an impact and a ratchet kind of attachment. And then I'm going to cut this into a 90, and I'm going to make my own Allen key out of this. And so a nice big Allen key. I'll have a little impact or ratcheting attachment, and we'll use that. It is just regular steel, so I'm interested to see how much it deforms as I use it, especially as a wrench or an Allen key. They did have the option of buying some stainless steel. It wasn't that much more. So if this doesn't work, I'll go buy some stainless version of it and do the same thing. But we're going to silicone braze these two together, and then I'll probably just regular TIG weld this together, and we'll show you how we're going to do that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a 2-inch piece for the socket, and then I'm going to cut a 3-inch piece to come up, and that might be a little tall, but it allows me to, if I need to maybe make another socket, I can trim some off the back side of the other one. So if I go here, trim that one off, I should be able to have a good enough reach up and out of the pocket. What I like about this is I already have a nice little bevel to kind of weld in there. Alright, so now we've got the hex bar cut and our pieces of angle iron cut. The last thing I need to do is just kind of clean up. We need to clean up this a little bit. There's some burrs on it. This outside weld's kind of in the way. And so we're going to take that down so we can weld that up. And then when we clean that up, we'll also clean up our little socket head. You can see right there, not very high tolerances, so it's all sorts of wobbly. That was before I even ground it, sorry. But yeah, all sorts of good. All right, so we are going to TIG braze this up. I've got some silicon bronze here. And the other thing that I've got here in my hand is a demonstration product from CK Worldwide. You can see there the name on it. And all it does is it has two different tips, a 1/16 and a 3/32. And it helps feed that rod. And I haven't got to use it much. Kind of had it tucked away. And so we're going to see if I can use that here, right? Or try at least. Got my gas lens on. Let's see. I'll say this TIG feeder, a little interesting getting used to, but it is nice. It's a little bit stable. I think I got to relax my hand in a certain way to make sure that I'm not trying to hold too hard on it. It's stuck there, and I think I'm trying too hard. But yeah, it's working. Some of my beads are overfilled a little bit, but I think that's the beauty behind this sort of stuff. So just put it in there. Okay, so we're just gonna 4 more sides. All right, so that's hot. Yeah, a little bumpy on that side. We'll polish it up. All right, so we're gonna let that wrench is hot. We're gonna let that cool down. And what I did at the school is I made this double-ended wrench, double-ended open-end box wrench. You know, I made this open-end wrench. When I was building this table, I made this wrench, and this actually helps loosen and tighten the nuts that are underneath here, and then that's how we level it, flatten it out. And so I went to the school and I drew up another wrench file. It's not perfect yet. I need to do a little bit of filing, but it's supposed to fit the bigger nuts and these smaller nuts. And we're almost there. I just need to take the cutting disc and go in, cut that just a little bit, and get it to fit. So I'm going to finish that up. Tacks on these. I'm going to switch out my tungsten. I want to get a little longer stick out, and that guy was just a little too short. All right, so I lost a lot of footage. Don't know what happened. I was in the middle of welding up that rolling stand, and it's all gone. What I figured I'd do is come at least do a a good demonstration of how all the tools are working, how we incorporate them, maybe some of the welds that were on there. I know we did the silicon bronze, and that might be new for some of you who've never done silicon bronze or seen it before. But essentially, bronze filler rod with a little bit of silicon instead of zinc, like you would normally see in bronze or brazing. And it's primarily used in TIG welding. They do make an aluminum bronze as well that you can also TIG weld with. We have a little bit, not a lot. I usually get like 10 pounds a year and just kind of dabble with it. And even 10 pounds is probably a lot. Maybe I've had 10 pounds for a few years. Don't use it a whole lot, but it's pretty fun to use, especially dissimilar metal types. I didn't know what this socket was made out of. And so this socket all polished up. It doesn't look so bad, but yeah, I definitely need to practice. So here you have the socket adapter, and that will fit in a wrench or a ratchet. I didn't even get the footage. I'm not sure where all the footage went for the wrench, because it's all gone, and that's a little bit lumpy on that side, but it is just silicone on the outside to kind of give it a little bit of pop, but it is all fully TIG welded on the inside, and I thought I had some good arc shots of it. They're all gone. So anywho, there you go. Merry Christmas. That fits right just like that. Good. Nice and soft, and I can twist that around. There's a not so bad one. There's a not so bad one. Anywho, and then my wrench. My wrench is, this one was the old one I made. That goes to the table. This is the new one I made. And again, just quick and dirty. I didn't drill this big enough to fit the 1-inch socket heads, because I'd rather use these for fixturing. And I think I'm gonna wanna use these more with like a little stop. So I actually might make a bunch of these to use with the 7/8. They're just a little bit too wobbly, I think, in here for my liking, but they were a lot cheaper. So I can put a bunch of these stops on and we'll be good. Demonstration. I think we're done.